Ow! John Wick was right. Why didn't I listen? Anyways, welcome back to Expressing My Thoughts, the show where I take a look at the weirdest pieces of media out there and give my general opinion on them. Well, I've already teased it long enough, so might as well bite the bullet. Today we are looking at one of the worst movies I have ever seen in my entire life, Oogie Loves and the Big Balloon Adventure. The only problem is, I don't remember that movie having this much blood.
He's watching you, and he loves you. He's watching you.
I killed myself the other day.
Oh, now, Sophie? I don't think that you don't understand, sweetheart.
Actually, zoom in on that one image, please. Just as I thought. I left the copy of the movie in Where the Dead Go to Die. It's like the 6th time I've done that this week. But, yeah, we are taking a look at Where the Dead Go to Die, so should probably get this on. Why do I do this to myself? Public internet ridicule. And yet this guy, Jimmy Screamaclaws, whose name is way too cool for me to say, so I'll just call him Roger, has grown to be one of the most respected and beloved surrealist animators on the internet nowadays, to the point where he's working with other beloved internet weirdos like David Firth, M. Strange, and the previously discussed Flying Lotus. And by far his most controversial project, Where the Dead Go to Die, came out in February of 2012. Kinda, but we'll get to that very shortly. The story behind this is that Roger wanted to make a comedy, but made the grave mistake of getting high before he started writing and animating it, thus explaining why everyone moves like this. But even after sobering up, he ended up really liking what he saw, so every 2 years he would blaze himself up just to make one singular short, and then in 2012 he compiled them all into this one movie. So let's start off this journey with the 2007 short film and also chapter 1 of this movie, Tainted Milk. The segment begins with a young named Tommy asking where babies come from, and their parents start bickering and blaming one another as a result of it, causing them to casually divorce each other.
I'll tell you all about babies. Babies come from the mistakes you made as a child.
Yep, sounds exactly like the story on how I was born. Tommy later on goes to school at night and stumbles across...
Hi, Tommy.
Lucy, I am so sorry I wasn't aware of your game. This is Labby, surname the dog. A dog under the influence of the devil, I will kill you if you even, that's voiced by Roger himself and is without a doubt the most famous character he's ever come up with. Admittedly, an evil dog coaxing a young boy into doing something heinous isn't the most original idea in the world, but honestly, it might be the most unhinged version of this trope I've ever seen, cause holy goddamn.
You're eating my dick!
Don't you hate when that happens?
Quickly, take his hands and cut yourself with his fingernails so it looks like he attacked you first.
He doesn't have any yet. I get it. I get that this movie is horrible, and offensive, and crude, and an assault to God. But that is genuinely one of the funniest things I have ever heard. How could you not love something like that? Silly dog, he can't cut me with his fingernails because he's an unborn fetus. He doesn't have any yet. I'm Tommy. I'm a boy in his tens. Okay, this joke is going nowhere.
What's the matter, Tommy? Don't you think the lady in the well was gonna bring the sunshine?
That's a tear duct. So Tommy's a little sad that his folks are gone, but then Labby says that he can bring them back, on one condition. And yes, that faces him doing exactly what you think he's doing, and no, I am not gonna show it, because if I do, I'm gonna break several laws in the Geneva Convention, and I'm going to get shot. That's all I'll say for this one. And lo and behold, even after all that, his parents are still dead, cause Labby is a lying piece of shit. And then the smiling man shows up, and that's where this segment pretty much ends. Is it bad to say that this might be the tamest of the bunch? We then transition very smoothly into our next segment, Liquid Memories, where we follow... Actually, I don't think he was ever given a name. All I know about him is that he's going around killing people, extracting their memories, and injecting them into his brain. It makes no sense.
What happened to my legs?
Oh, and now we're watching the Emoji Movie. I will admit to saying that the designs for these memory demons are pretty awesome. It almost looks rotoscoped in a way, kind of like something you would see out of one of Richard Linklater's animated projects. But at the same time, they just look so uncanny, and they stick out like a sore thumb against the other characters. They both don't fit in at all, and fit perfectly at the same time. It's that kind of uncanny valley we're dealing with. I should appreciate for being one huge acid trip, but I gotta be honest here, this whole segment kinda sucks. Even for a movie that's very loosey-goosey with its stories, I don't even think this segment had one to begin with. It's just this guy going into the memories of his victims, feeling bad for one of them after he looks into her memories, and then just dies. Okay. Can't show most of this, so let's move on to the third and final segment, a Panic at the Disco song title. But I'm happy to report that we finally have a segment in this movie that has a proper beginning, middle, and end. This story follows dear old Ralph, a socially awkward kid who hallucinates stuff thanks to the weird Siamese twin he has on the side of his head. However, Ralph is often looked down by his parents, the mother of which is voiced by Linnea Quigley? As in 80s Scream Queen Linnea Quigley? What am I watching? Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that the director of We Are the Strange M.Dot is supposed to be in this movie. So yeah. When can we see him, Roger?
Siamese twins often share certain organs. In this case, they share a brain.
Oh. There he is. The next day, Ralph is at school and falls in love with a fairly innocent little girl named Sophie, no relation.
I really like your drawing.
Oh god damn it, you turned Ralph to stone. And figures that the one way to be with her is to gain the trust of her father, who makes pornographic movies of her. God damn it. Okay, I get that Roger wanted to tackle a topic like this in an intentionally disturbing and provocative fashion, but I felt that the movie already worked without factoring in that kind of real-world connection. This is clearly the guy's passion project, and you could tell that he does have a vast imagination. Even if the two previous segments had their problems, you could tell that he wanted to let out as many weird ideas as he possibly could, cultivating in moments that genuinely do work, just in a unique sort of way. The man was this close to not making an animated Blacklist Heaven, and look what he went and did. Exactly that.
You better not be touching yourself. Remember, it's...
Well, at least I know the people who made the Johnny videos are still getting work.
Eating sugar?
A bunch of really, really awful stuff happens that I'm unable to talk about here because, well, take a wild guess. And Sophie is understandably pissed about Ralph's advancements, considering that he was the only person she knew who actually treated her well. So she shuts herself off from him.
They say dogs are supposed to be man's best friend.
A best friend would never do that to you.
I guess not.
So, is it implied that Tommy and Ralph are on different planes of existence and the well is a portal between several dimensions of pain? Not gonna lie, that is an interesting idea. I just wish that we didn't have to go for a cartoon version of Amateur Night from VHS just to get to this point.
How was it? Speechless, huh? That's understandable. I know how it is. I've f***ed her before.
Oh, Jesus, that was disgusting.
Oh. Never say that again.
Your fathers are welling up with tears of pride.
Why are Labby's eyes so big now? Like, they were at a fairly decent size at the beginning of the film, but now, look at them! They look like baby's first creepypasta! At one point, the light of them just covers up his entire face. I can't show the frame, of course, because, you know, it's this movie, but still, why are they so abnormally large now? So Ralph goes around killing his and Sophia's parents, as well as cutting out the twin from his head. And then he skulks back to the well where everybody else in this stupid movie is. I guess this is like the water cooler of the movie. It's then revealed that Ralph and the Smiling Man are one and the same, and just like that, the movie just sorta stops. Okay. Now before we continue, I do need to bring up the movie Roger made after Tainted Milk, and that was 2008's Reality Bleed Through, which might be my favorite movie of his. Maybe I'm just a sucker for the whole shot-on-shitio feel of films like this, but you blend that with several avant-garde cosmic horror concepts, and the film does what pretty much needs to be done. I bring this up because that's pretty much where The Dead's biggest strength. Like, yes, all everyone said about this film being an edgy, sacrilegious mess is true. I can't deny that. And I can acknowledge that there are horror films out there that are better written and more controlled with their shock value. But here's the thing with those horrors, I tend to forget about them a minute after they end, whereas I am never going to forget the designs of the Shadow Men, or Labby's homeless man-esque rant near the beginning, or that. Between the high concepts of Liquid Memories, the well from earlier, and the intentional moments of dark comedy in Tainted Milk, you can't really say that there's absolutely zero value to come from it. Especially with visuals that are as beyond creative as this. Linnea quickly stabs a creepy war vet in the neck and then skulks away like a little spider. If that doesn't get the slightest reaction out of you, then I don't even know what to say, you might be the crazy one. So yeah, this is gonna come as a shock to pretty much everybody, but I did not hate Where the Dead Go to Die at all. I thought it was just okay. A little try-hard for my liking, but you cannot deny that there is a huge strand of originality and imagination going on, as twisted as it may be. And as a good friend and a long-time respectful filmgoer, I am no longer going to condescendingly call you Roger, and instead, I'll call you Jimmy. That's all I have to say. Go home.